Oh well. So I'm thinking about talking about this for a long time, just to say it, not have it stuck in my head for a while. But so when I was 13, or sorry, let me back up a bit. Um, I grew up in a little town called Warren, Massachusetts, named after General Warren of American Revolutionary fame. Before that, it was actually named Western. They renamed the town after the revolution was over in his honor. And in town, we had a pond called Cummins Pond. Actually, all the way up out of the valley, up back in the hills. There's a place where all the hills form this giant bowl, and so all the rain, all the snow melt goes down into the middle. It's really cold water, and so the town built. Folks in town built a dam to hold the water in at a particular level, and truck in sand every once in a while to keep a beach there. It was really cool. And so everyone in town would go out there. And when I was 13, this is in 1991. 91? No, that'd be when I was 3 years old. Excuse me. Um, when I was 13, on a particular day when I was 13, me and my family went there, and um, I couldn't swim. I could sort of dog paddle. I could sort of keep myself afloat, but I could never relax enough to properly swim. I was really tense, and you need to relax to float. I almost drowned when I was 7, and yeah, to this day, I can't swim. I really can't. But I did like the water. I like wading in it, and especially like wading in the Quabog River, which ran right down the middle of town. The whole the town was on either side of the valley, and the river right down the middle. And we still love just going wading down that and exploring and finding things there. But I digress again. I apologize. I do that a lot. Anyway, on this particular day when I was 13, my whole family was there, and I was wading around in the water, and I went out kind of far. Um, I was pretty tall. By that point, I'd already topped 6 feet. Um, and this little kid. Oh, now when I say little again, I was over 6 feet tall, so little is kind of relative. I don't actually know if he'd be thought of as little by someone else. Anyway, um, he went down the big slide that went out over the water, and I guess he didn't know how deep it was at the end because he was drowning, and I was the closest one to him by a fair amount. No one else was really close at all. And he splashed toward me, and at about he tried to get help from me, and he was splashing and kept going under the water and coming up again, and I was very autistic when I was younger. Um, I'm not now. I mean, autism isn't like a disease like a flu that you recover from and then it's gone. Whatever is different about my brain that made me autistic, it's still there, but I have learned a lot and developed a lot as a person since then. To the point that the last time I saw a shrink, he officially diagnosed me as not autistic. But I was very autistic, and there were many things I had a lot of trouble understanding. To counter that, there were some things that I found very easy to understand that most people found very difficult to understand, but I digress again. And I did not understand that he was in trouble. And I stood there as he was coughing and spitting and trying to speak the few times he had his head above water, politely waiting for him to say whatever it was he was going to say. Um, Eventually, I reached down and I grabbed his arm and I pulled his head above water and I leaned down and I very politely said, What are you saying?" Or something like that. Um, he spat water, drew a breath, and he said in a very distressed way, "Thank you." And that's the point when I understood that he was actually in trouble. And so I picked him up out of the water and I carried him into the shallows. And I tried to hide my face, which was very hard because I was only wearing swim trunks at the time. Um, I didn't tell anyone, um, not anyone in my family. Um, he told his father and brought his father over to meet me, and his father thanked me, and I was so embarrassed I sort of mumbled and okay, whatever, just I didn't talk about it to anyone for like 17 years. Like, yeah, something like that, about 17 years. He happened to be black. The only reason I took note of that is that this was rural New England, you know. And so I knew that he and his family were new in town because there were no black people in town that I knew of. Um, anyway, so talking about things like this that I find very hard to talk about are a part of me progressing and growing as a person. So thank you for listening to me and helping me in this way. And I hope that well, you find some value in this. Oh, you don't come away with this thinking, okay, that was a cute story and it adds nothing to my life. I hope that you find something that you can use in this. I wish I talked with him. Um, he tried talking to me a bunch after that, trying to be friends, I guess, and I couldn't bring myself to even look at him. So anyway, thanks for watching. Um, like, comment, share, subscribe, do that whole YouTube thing, and have a good night. God bless.